Hi everyone. As promised, I wanted to give you a course introduction and take you through the details of the class. So I hope everyone has had the opportunity to take a look at the syllabus, and as you'll notice, the course has two main requirements. One is to complete a lesson assignment every week, which will be worth 100 points. Altogether, there will be 6 lessons, so 600 points. The next aspect of this is the blog project, which will come in 3 parts, which altogether will be worth 400 points. So for a total of 1,000 points altogether. Beyond this, I hope you have had the opportunity to purchase the course textbook, and that's ready to go by the time class starts. So regarding the grading scale and late policy, all assignments are due by the indicated time in terms of Arizona time, and any lessons or blogs completed 1 day late can only earn up to half the points. So for instance, since lessons are worth 100 points each, the highest score you can get at that point is 50. Unless, of course, you have prior approval, and that would involve you emailing me ahead of time asking for an extension for some sort of documented reason. Any lessons or blogs completed 2 days late can only earn up to 1/4 the points, and no assignments will be accepted after that. So let's start by looking at the calendar so you can see some of the due dates. Lessons will become available on the Thursday before they become due. So for instance, lesson 1 is due on July 3rd and will be available to you starting at midnight on Thursday, June 29th. And this pattern sort of will continue throughout the semester. So lesson 2 opens and becomes available on July 6th, and it will be due on July 10th. You will be emailed a link to your ASU email account to open and access the lesson through Smart Sparrow, which I'll get to in a minute. As for the blogs, you will have 3 blogs due throughout the semester, and the first will be due on July 12th and the second on July 26th, and the third then on August 9th. So speaking then of Smart Sparrow, a link is going to appear that is officially your first task in terms of figuring out whether the web browser in whatever computer or laptop you're using is compatible. So make sure you check that before getting started. And once you're emailed a link, you will register and sign up for an account and then have access to all the lessons in the class. And the lessons basically will look something similar to this, and you will start by reading the assigned chapter and keeping in mind the key terms that you are asked to identify and define and kind of take notes on. And what it's going to do is give you some brief pointers about various different best practices in terms of what to do, what not to do, and you will then be taken into the lesson as a hint. If a certain screen is going to require you to reference the reading directly, you'll see the cover of our textbook appear on the screen. If not, then you are engaging sometimes with a video or an excerpt of some sort from the screen itself, and you don't necessarily have to reference the reading. So you will begin each lesson by reading the assigned chapter. So in this case, after you read chapter 1, then you will enter and begin the lesson. So once you're ready to proceed, you click next and get going with the lesson. If at any point the program stops working, doesn't respond, you have any sort of IT issues, please let me know as soon as you possibly can so I can attend to that. So I will be enrolling each individual student using their asu.edu email address. You have to make sure that the way it's spelled is consistent, or the program is not going to recognize the work you've done before. So what I mean by that is I usually use this email address, but Judith.Pereira@asu.edu also links to this same account. But if I type that into Smart Sparrow, they're not going to recognize that I'm the instructor because this particular email is what's linked to my account. So same way, just make sure that however you register initially for your account is exactly how you log in every time, or it's going to not recognize you and tell you that you might have to sign up again. The Smart Sparrow lessons will have the option to restart them, but only after you complete it the first time, and the first time's score is what will count. So on page 6 of the syllabus, you're going to find instructions on the blog project. And like I mentioned earlier, there'll be 3 blog posts for this class, and the first and second ones will be worth 100 points. The third and final blog post will be worth 200 points. And what you'll notice also is that there are instructions on how to complete the blog. So you'll start by completing the assignment based on the prompts listed below. And the first thing you will do is then turn in your assignment through the Safe Assign link on the Blackboard page, and then you will post that blog into the class website. Both of these steps 2 and 3 have to be completed by the due date. So to begin with, then once you complete each of the blog post assignments, you will go into our Blackboard page, which becomes available to you a week from today. And you will select go into the appropriate week when the blog post is due. So the first one's due week 2. So once you get into the week 2, you will scroll down and there should be a link here to access the Safe Assign link. So once you complete your project, you go to the week when it's due and you submit it here first. After that, you will also be receiving an email link to be added as an editor to our class website. And what that means is you will essentially get access to our Google site, which is going to be where all the blogs are hosted. And you will go up to the Student Blogs tab here and find your name. Everyone's name is going to be listed alphabetically. And once you find your name, you will go into your page and also post the blog here. So the 2 steps involve first submitting it through Safe Assign for plagiarism, and then posting your blog here. You should write your name somewhere here, including a brief bio or any sort of pictures is optional, up to you. Like with Smart Sparrow, I will be enrolling everyone into the Google Sites using your asu.edu email. I'll have more instructions on Blackboard on how exactly the step-by-step process, but just so everyone's aware that this is sort of what you're looking at when you start to post your blog posts in this site. It's fairly straightforward. You will have access to this home page here as an editor. So once again, you find your name and then you copy and paste your blog posts. The same assignment you submit to the Safe Assign link you posted on the class website. And finally, the last few pages in the syllabus will have the prompts for each of the blog posts, as well as more instructions on how to complete them. Make sure you follow each prompt and answer all of the questions completely. You'll also see all of the key terms listed, and hopefully this will give you an idea of what you need to be reading for and some direction in terms of when you are not just reading but also engaging in the lessons. Hopefully you will take the time to read the prompts first before you begin the readings and the lessons, so that gives you a good idea of the direction you need to be heading with that and taking notes along the way.